back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video that I have done every year, I think since about 2015, and it is the baby name tag. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I love baby names, and as much as I can, I do baby name videos. I'm really hoping to do more, but this is one that I do every year just to see how my favorites have changed, if my favorites have changed, and just how my style is changing when it comes to baby names. I think someday when I actually have babies, it'll be really cool to see what I went through the years as like a process of loving names, and if my kids actually end up with any of these names that have been on my lists. So if you want to check out the last 2, 3, 4 years, I think it's 3, I will leave it in the description box below and you can check those out. But without further ado, we're going to do the baby name tag of 2018. So I'll go through the questions. I did tweak them a tiny bit, but I'll let you know like when I do that and why. So the first question has to do with I believe it's like the social security list, or the list that comes out every spring of the most popular names from the year before. So I used the 2017 list since that came out, I think it was last month, comes out in the spring, so it would be the best names of 2017. So it says to choose your it says choose your favorite and least favorite. But for every question in this tag, I chose one for a boy and one for a girl, just to be able to choose more names, and it's hard sometimes just to pick one gender. So I have my computer next to me with the list if you see me looking over there. So my favorite names from the 2017 list: for a boy, I love Noah, and for a girl, I love Emilia. The name Noah is actually one of my sister's favorite boy names. She loves names with O's in them, so I would love it if she used Noah on a nephew. I'd love to have a nephew named Noah. And Emilia, I actually have a niece named Emilia. She's not biological, but I'm her auntie. And she spells it E-M-E-I-L-A. No, E-M-E-L-I-A instead of the A. But the A is the most common, which doesn't surprise me at all. But I love both those names. And then my least favorite names are Elijah and Abigail. I don't know why they're my least favorite. I guess just out of the 10, I would be least likely to use them. I've never been a super big fan of Abigail, although I know Abby's and Abigail's that I really like, so it has nothing to do with the people. Just not my favorite name. And Elijah's the same. I love the nickname Eli, but I would prefer Elias or just Eli instead of Elijah. So number 2 is, if you had twins today, what would you name them? You have to do boy, 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 girl, and girl, girl. So for boy, boy, I picked Niall and Fraser. I guess it's Fraser, really. Fraser has an I in it, and I prefer the Fraser spelling. I first heard that spelling from Emily Norris. She has a son named Fraser, and I really, really liked it as opposed to Frasier, because Frasier really reminds me of the television show. So I just prefer the Fraser spelling and pronunciation. Niall has been on my list for years. I love it. It's Irish. It's cool. I don't know. I just love to have twins named Niall and Fraser. For girl, girl, I chose Penelope and Magnolia. Penelope would be nicknamed Poppy, and Magnolia would be nicknamed Lola. I just think that's really cute. So Poppy and Lola would be their nicknames unless they wanted to go by their longer names. Penelope's been a favorite of mine for a long time, as has Poppy. Magnolia, I first heard on a show called Pregnant in Heels. It was Rosie Pope's show, and she like went around and helped pregnant people, and one of them named their daughter Magnolia but called her Lola, and I was like, that's such a cute way to get the nickname Lola without just naming them Lola. So it's definitely on my list now. And then for boy, girl, I chose Fleur and Fraser. I love the idea of using the same initial if they're a boy and a girl. I don't know, it's just a thing I have. And I love the name Fleur. I think it's beautiful. It's French, obviously. Just a gorgeous like girl name, and it's a flower name without being like obviously a flower name, like poppy, lilac, lily. I do love those, but Fleur is cool. And Fraser, as I said before, I really, really love. So number 3 is, if you could change your name to anything, what would you change it to? I know I watched my last year's video yesterday, and I know that I chose Elizabeth, which I would definitely still choose if I had to change my name, but I wanted to be different this year, so I chose Annabelle. Annabelle is kind of a name that holds a special place in my heart. Anne is my grandmother's name, and my grandfather used to call her Annabella as a nickname, even though it's not her name. So I just think it'd be really cool to be Annabelle, and I love longer names. My full name is Catherine. Last year I chose Elizabeth. This year I'm choosing Annabelle. they all kind of have the same sort of feel. So really, in reality, I wouldn't change my name, but if I had to. The next question is, if you had 4 children and you had to name them all with the same first letter, what would you pick? And you can pick any gender and any letter. So this year I chose the letter B. I'm not sure if I've chosen that before. I know I didn't last year because, like I said, I watched last year's video. But I chose B, and I chose 3 boys and a girl. So for my 3 boys, I chose Baker, Bishop, and Barrett. And then for my girl, I chose Bloom. I think Bloom is such a cool girl's name, and I would love to use it one day. I also really, really love Baker, Bishop, and Barrett. They're really cool names. I love B names. So the next question is, what is your favorite animal-inspired name? And so for a boy, I chose Arthur. Arthur means bear, which is really funny if you guys have ever watched Arthur the show, because Arthur is an aardvark, but he looks like a bear. I always thought he was a bear. So I just think that's funny. And for a girl, I chose Birdie. I think Birdie is so sweet. I don't even know if I could pull it off. Like, I don't think I could be a mom to a birdie, but I would love to meet a little birdie one day. The next question is your favorite color names. I'm pretty sure that olive has been my favorite girl color name throughout all of these videos. Maybe not, but it's definitely been one of my favorite names throughout all these videos. I love olive green, so it's definitely a color name. And for a boy, I really like the name Blue. I think it's super cool. I don't think I would use it as a first name, but as a middle name, I feel like it goes with everything, and it's just such a cool name. The next question is, what are your top 3 boys' names? So this is hard for me every time because my top 3 changes all the time. I have a running list of, like, I don't even know, like 50 names probably, of boys and girls, and then my favorites on the list sort of change all the time. So this is my top 3 right now. Could change by the end of the week. But my top 3 right now are Frederick, with the nickname Freddie. That's probably been in my top list for a really long time, and I'm pretty sure that'll probably end up being my son's name if I ever have one, just because it means so much to me. It was my grandfather's middle name. But I have changed the spelling over the years. I started with the original spelling that was his middle name, and I've changed it to the spelling that you see on the screen because I just like it better. My second favorite is Archibald with the nickname Archie. Again, it's a family name for me, but I really love it, and I love the nickname Archie. I think it's so cute. And then my third name is Harper. I really, really like Harper for a boy. I think it's really neat. You don't hear it on a boy very often, but I think it could definitely be a boy's name, kind of going with like the Archer. I know there's other names ending in ER that they're just escaping me right now. Baker, that I mentioned before, but I like Harper. And the next question is, what are your top 3 girls' names? Again, same as boys, they change all the time. But right now, my top one is Thea. I love the name Thea. And I think it's really cool because my mom's name is Cynthia, so it's sort of the end of her name. My next one is Magnolia with the nickname Lola. And my third one is Ophelia. I love those like long, elegant names, and I love names that end in A, as you can tell. The next question is, what is your favorite celebrity baby name? This is where I changed the question slightly because I could give you the same names every year. So I decided to change it to what was my favorite celebrity baby name this year. So the baby had to be born in 2018. I chose a boy and a girl. So for a boy, I chose Bernard Moon, and his nickname is Barney, and that is Bridget Regan's son. I think that it's so cool to name your kid Bernard these days, but then stick it with like a super like uncommon, spunky middle name Moon. I think that's so cool. And then for a girl, I chose Colette Koala, which is Macklemore's second daughter. I love the name Colette. It's actually on my baby name list. And the middle name Koala, it's like Moon. It's super unexpected and super cool. So these kids have really classic first names and then awesome middle names. The next question is, what are your guilty pleasure names? I don't have that many often because I feel like I would use a lot of the names I like, but I do have 2 that every time I go by them, I'm like, oh, I'd love to use these. But like I don't feel like I am strong enough to use them or to have children to carry them off. So for a boy, I love the name Baltazar, but I don't feel like in Canada Baltazar would really be able to put, like, I don't feel like a kid could be Baltazar here. And for a girl, it's Pascal. I know a Pascal, but I'm not French, so I feel like that's almost, I don't know, not good. Like I feel like because I'm not French, I couldn't use the name, but I love the name Pascal on the little girl. The next question says, what's your most hated baby name? I struggle with this because I don't hate any baby names. It's just some I like better than others, and some I'll pick and some I won't. So I don't hate any names. I think that people suit their names, and I think names are awesome no matter what they are. Even if they're spelled with silent Z's and 4 capital letters, I still think they're cool because it's your name and there's probably a story behind it. The next question is choose a baby name based on a month. This is hard because there's only so many months in the year. But for a boy I chose August, and for a girl I chose Junia. I really like Junia as opposed to June. I don't know, a little bit more unique. I just think it's pretty. And August, pretty straightforward, but I always think it's really cool. The next question is choose a baby name from a movie. This was originally choose a baby name from Twilight, but Twilight is old now. And I think I've picked enough names from that movie, so I just chose any movie. So for a boy, I found Otis B. Driftwood. I love the name Otis, and that's from A Night at the Opera. And I just think the name Otis is super cool. And then for a girl, I chose Liv Lerner, and Liv Lerner is a character from Bride Wars, which is one of my favorite movies. And I think the name Liv is so pretty. It's on my list, and I love it. And the last question is to choose a baby name from your family tree. So this is hard for me every year because I love my family tree, and I'm actually working on my family tree, and it's huge. So I've been marking down some of my favorite names along the way. And this year, my favorite boys' names are Asa, Wellington, and Frederick. And Asa and Wellington are so far back that I actually just found them, but Frederick is my grandfather's middle name. And then for girls, I have Minnie, Clementine, and Effie. So Minnie and Clementine are like Asa and Wellington. They're very far back, but Effie is actually my nanny's middle name, and I've always loved it. So those are my family tree names. I have a really cool family tree, and I love finding names in it. So that's the end of the 2018 baby name tag. I promised you guys I know that I would do a baby name video this week, so here it is. And I'm hoping that to have another video up by the end of the week. We'll see how the week goes. It's getting a little bit less busy and a little more routine. Hopefully I'll find a filming space that's better than filming in my kitchen, but right now that's where the light is, and my walls are bare, so there's nothing good to look at if I sit anywhere else. But yeah, this is the tag, and if you want to fill out the questions, please do so below, or make your own video and leave the link in the comments below so I can watch it. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to check out my blog and my social media, which will all be linked in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.